products are prohibited on school grounds. Thank you for your compliance. With your help, we can make tonight's contest as enjoyable an event as possible. And now, would you please rise, face the flag of the south end of the stadium, and kindly remove your hats as our band plays the national anthem. Great job as always, band. Again, welcome to this Central Suburban League match between the Vernon Hills Cougars and your Glenbrook North Spartans.
Wow, it's quite an emotional setting here, Jacob, as it's senior night. These nights only come once a year for the football team. All the parents are in attendance. It's the seniors' last home regular season game. It's, a little tearjerker, right?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think especially this year, the senior class has just been so special and so important to this team.
Yeah,
it's very emotional.
Especially when you consider that they are 7-0 right now, and GBN is looking to do something special for their school. I believe the last time this school went undefeated in the regular season was 2004. So they really have the chance to make history these next 2 weeks. And standing in their way are the 5-2 Vernon Hills Cougars, a very solid defense-first team.
Yeah, and I was talking to head coach or assistant coach, Coach Weiner, and he said, this is going to be an interesting game tonight. They're going to try to run the ball straight down the middle and run screen plays. Defense, they're running a 5-3, nothing too unusual. But, yeah, it should be a very good game tonight.
Nothing too unusual, but they do it effectively. They played Deerfield a few weeks back, and they only let Deerfield score 7 points against them. And last week, they didn't let Maney score any. So this defense is an effective one of the top in the state, and it could potentially cause some GBN some trouble.
Yeah, definitely. With Glenbrook North having such a high-intensity offense, I think tonight's battle will be one for the books.
Absolutely.
Michael Carr. And the rest of your Spartans.
Student section seems to be jam-packed and all blacked out for tonight's blackout theme.
And really they should be, right?
Right.
This season, if all goes to plan these next 2 weeks, Glenbrook North should have at least another one in the playoffs. And you didn't come out to support your Spartans here tonight in the last home regular season game. And, that's a real shame. You better still be listening to the Cube, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be fine here, but try and get to this game because this is your last chance to really support the hometown Spartans, your school, your alma mater in the future, in a home regular season football game.
Especially on such a year where they've been just so dominant and so great to watch. Yeah. It looks like we are approaching kickoff. No, I could not be any more excited than I am right now.
Absolutely. As I said at the beginning, it's a big fight feel. So much is on the line for both teams. We mentioned an undefeated season. And for the Vernon Hills Cougars, they can clinch a playoff spot with a win tonight. So a lot on the line. Neither team wants to lose this one. And Jacob, I believe Glenbrook North will kick. And for Vernon Hills, it looks like Max Lyle and Jack Himmel will be back to receive it. Tommy Gertner for the Spartans boots it down.
Oh,
the
man,
field.
he has a boot. It's like they're going to take the touchback on that. didn't have much they could do with that.
IHSA rules. Ball kicked in the end zone. Can't do anything about it. It's an automatic touchback.
What?
So, former wide receiver Kyle Hall, who is now the quarterback of the Vernon Hills
Entire week.
Well, right now they have no running back in the backfield. It's Kyle Hall and 5 receivers out, but they're going to an end around.
Oh.
Not before a flag is thrown.
Spartans. That's going to cost them 100 yards in practice.
It's funny. This team doesn't make many mistakes, GBN, and part of being an undefeated team means you don't make mistakes. And to start a game off with an offsides penalty has to be a grueling experience for Coach Bob Pieper.
Did they say Ari's coming?
All right, same formation as the last play. Oh, no, there was a little bit of an audible. They're bunching 3 receivers on the right and a man in motion. Kyle Hull's going to run it himself to start things off here and gets to about the 28.
Interesting to watch them stack and really make that side, that diamond side. Interesting formation, but nonetheless pretty effective.
Well, you said it from the get-go, Jacob. This team likes to run the football, but when you put 5 receivers out, it really throws the defense off, and it makes them stay disciplined and guard receivers, which creates a very open lane for the quarterback.
Looks like they're stacking the other side right now.
5 receivers on the left. This is remarkable right now. Let's see how this works. Kyle Hall. Another quarterback keeper.
Risky, but it's just paying off right now. Seems Glenbrook North. It's hard to predict what they're going to do when you stack 5 wide receivers on one side.
This is what you got to do if you're an underdog in football. GBN's a terrific program. They're 7-0. They're 41st in the state right now, and some argue they should be ranked higher because they don't play in a well conference. Not many experts are watching them. So when you're playing against a talented team like the Spartans, you have to risk it and really empty the marble bag out. To Jack Himmel, the backup quarterback who also gets a 3-yard gain there.
Looks like we have been seeing a lot of quarterback sneaks because of how great our quarterbacks are covering those wide receivers.
Yeah.
Looks like they can't get really anything going besides trying that scramble and run.
Himmel's a receiver right now, but next year after Kyle Hull graduates, look for him to take the reins at the starting quarterback position. 4 receivers out and a half for Kyle Hull's offense. Play action, pass down the field to Chris Morella for a first down.
And they're going to move the change on that beautiful pass.
One thing Vernon Hills has is height. A lot of guys over 6 feet, including Chris Mariella, 6'2", 190. He's a playmaker.
And that's something I feel like Glenbrook North really struggles with in basically every sport, is we are not that big of a school. But, man, our heart really prevails.
Absolutely. 4 receivers out and a halfback for Kyle Hull. Man in motion.
They're going to
play action again, and an open receiver. Incomplete.
They seem to love running that play action right now. But Glenbrook North seems to be covering their receivers well. And I can already tell you right now this is going to be a battle.
Well, you talked about the height disadvantage. Jonathan McGuire, the intended receiver on that play, he's 6'4". The ball was in his hands, and he just dropped it. But he was open, and as you said, the height disadvantage could be a big factor in tonight's outcome. Snap to Kyle Hull. Open is Trey Hammer. Take downs at the 38.
Now they seem to be moving the chains pretty fast. The ball. It's been decently effective throughout this game right now, as they've moved the chains.
Kyle Hull is really sharing the wealth. He's already targeted 4 different receivers. 5 receivers out, shotgun formation. Scrambles to the right. Almost intercepted by James McCoy, one of the team captains for Glenbrook North.
Wow, that was really close. We had him scrambling back. Our defensive line, right, deserves all the praise for totally breaking through. I mean, that quarterback had no time whatsoever to throw the ball.
Talked about that lethal defensive line, Glenbrook North, led by number 99, C. Pulowski, the best player on this team. He was nominated for IHSA Athlete of the Month last month. Unfortunately, did not win the award, but a nomination is still. Drops back, throws. Broken up by Glenbrook North. I believe that was Joe Jenkins there. tough to see here. Night sky mixed with the light. Got the yellow numbering on the Glenbrook North's silver jerseys. But we're trying our best here, Jacob.
Oh, yeah. Rumor has changing their jerseys relatively soon, I believe. Shoot. We're going to get the change going.
All right. GBN will take over on downs here. 1st and 10 for the senior, Kevin Burnside.
Yeah, that is sort of a letdown on the Lions' part, but if you give Jimmy Karfus any space, he is a very dangerous running back. He may not be the biggest guy, but man, is he fast.
About 2nd and 12 for Glenbrook North. Burnside alone in the back. Receivers out.
And this is where Burnside is really dangerous. He has a great arm and great wide receivers to catch those passes.
Side drops back. Pass is caught by, I believe, it's TJ Weinzimmer in the slot.
Interesting fact about TJ Weinzimmer. He recently just got an offer to play at Valpo. D1 offer.
Terrific school. Guy deserves it. He's a workhorse. I mean, his numbers back. Terrific catch in the playoffs last year. One of the best catches.
8, it's going to bring up 3rd and 4 for the Spartans.
3rd and 4 for Glenbrook North here. Burnside, 4 receivers out. Jimmy Karfus to his left. Burnside throws.
Oh, nice.
Wide open, Tommy Gertner for the 1st down and more. Welcome Glenbrook North to Vernon Hill.
Glenbrook North seems very comfortable, very relaxed. Good to see right now the opening nerves really haven't hit them.
Have those types of nerves if you're undefeated like GB.
Right.
They have been able to silence the outside noise for the whole season. And here we go. 1st and 10 for Burnside with 4 receivers. Play action, scrambles to his right. He's going to keep it.
Oh, and he keeps going. Oh.
Yeah, it was worth a fight, but
I don't think
doesn't
he's
seem
gonna
like anything there.
Yeah.
Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Spartans.
Looks like number 21, Nick Morris, there for the Cougars. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
The stadium might have given him a yard there, so we'll say 2nd and 9.
Yeah. Oh, the student section is already going crazy as soon as we entered Vernon Hills territory. So exciting to see.
Burnside once again in the shotgun with Karfus to his left and 4 receivers out. 1 on the right, 3 on the left. Snap to Burnside. He's got time. He's
going to take it.
Again.
Oh.
He might have gotten the 1st down. There he does. Oh. I thought he was taking about the 35, but Burnside being the workhorse he is.
That's what I like to see in a quarterback.
To the 30, or about to 34, let's say. That's going to move the chains for Glenbrook North.
And you saw he didn't slide at all. He ran right in the defender trying to get every extra yard he could squeeze out of that play. And as a result, he gets the 1st down. Couldn't be happier.
1st and 10, Cougars 34.
1st and 10. And Kevin Burnside has his team marching. 5 receivers out alone in the backfield.
Oh, it looks like I think they're going to call. Yeah. On the
flag on the play.
Encroachment on Vernon Hills.
Looks like it's offsides on the Cougars. That will cost them 5. 1st and 5.
That's the easiest way to make yards, and that really can affect the team is how many penalties are you going to give. Because free 5 yards really can hurt you in the long run.
Especially for where we're at right now on this field. Almost marched into the end zone, GBN. All right. Believe Burnside kept it, and it was a fake. He faked us all there and fights for the 1st down.
Yeah, I was so close to say, well, it looks like Jimmy Karfus got brought down for a loss of yards, but man, wow, they really sold that one extraordinarily well.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about Karfus' size. Yes, he's small, but small players have an advantage over big players in football is this. it is easier to run fake plays and hide the ball with small guys like Karfus, especially small and speedy guys like Jimmy Karfus. So look for GBN to run a very similar play in the near future.
Yeah, Jimmy Karfus only 5'7", 165. Man, he is light on his feet.
Wow, more movement up front, but it looks like it's going to be against Glenbrook North.
Oh, man.
Ball start on the Spartans. They'll back them up 5, 1st and 15 from the 26.
Unfortunately, we aren't given a specific player there for the penalty, but maybe there was multiple players who flinched. Anyways, it's 1st and 15 for the Spartans. Ball on the 26-yard line.
Let's see if we can really try to march downfield. Unfortunately, that penalty set us back a little bit, but I have faith in the Spartans.
Almost in Tommy Gertner field goal range.
Oh, very true.
5 receivers out.
Oh,
Reverse
my God, they're going to get him again.
More movement. And trying to see who is on here, because it looked like there's movement on both sides.
Oh.
They are saying Vernon Hills went first. They crossed the line, and that false start penalty that Glenbrook North had to go for the senior quarterback, as it was a gang tackle by Vernon Hills' elite defenseman for a loss.
And, I mean, as you saw, you could see him shadowing up. He was foreshadowing he was going to blitz. Paid off for him great.
Yeah, we talked about the GBN possibly running more fake end arounds with Karfus. They did it right there. Unfortunately, the complete opposite happened. 5-yard loss for the Spartans, 2nd and 15.
With 4 minutes and 30 seconds left, let's see if we can get something before the first quarter ends.
Absolutely. Burnside looks left, finds a receiver on his
the
ball popped out, and the Vernon Hills sidelines is claiming the ball did not pass the line of scrimmage, which would be ruled a fumble, but the call on the field is an incomplete pass.
Going to bring up 3rd and 14.
3rd and 14, 3rd and forever. Let's see what the Spartans are going to do here.
You have the ball at the 25. Your kicker is decent in Tommy Gertner. I'm talking about the Spartans, that is. It will be interesting to see if they try and get the first down or just try and get 7 to 8 yards and create a little chip shot for Gertner.
Let's see. With Karfus in the backfield, you have a lot of weapons you could use right now. Let's see what the coaches decide to choose.
4 receivers out, and Karfus to his right for Kevin Burnside. Now he tells Karfus to go in motion. Burnside finds Bubaris. Bubaris is going to throw wide.
Whoa!
Is TJ Weinzimmer in the end zone, and the Spartans strike first.
With
touchdown, Glenbrook North.
With the flea flicker, something you don't see used very often, but man, that paid off for the Spartans. TJ Weinzimmer was wide open. No one had anyone on him, and Bubaris had all the time in the world.
It's funny because Glenbrook North ran a very similar play 3 weeks ago. It was basically the same thing that you just saw, except instead of Bubaris who caught the pass and threw it, it was Jimmy Karfus. So Glenbrook North finding plays that work for them early in the season and sticking to them as the season progresses.
Let's see if our kicker, Tommy Gertner, can get the extra point going.
Good hold by Bubaris, and the kick is right down the middle. 7-0 Spartans with 4:06 left in the first quarter.
Wow, this game is already very exciting as the first quarter is coming to the end. We have seen the Spartan offense and defense take over.
The Spartans were able to eventually stop Vernon Hills' mixture of pass-run offense, but not before they got a decent amount of yards. I wouldn't completely count this offense out yet. They were able to pick apart Maine East last week. They were able to do some nice things against Deerfield a few weeks ago. And to be honest, they were able to pick apart Maine West a little bit 2 weeks ago. So it is 7-0 with 4:06 remaining, but you know as well as anyone, Jacob, high school football games are not over until the end.
That is very true, very true. Cannot count out a team whatsoever.
Looks like number 7, Himmel, and number 14, Lyle, back to receive.
The same two who received the opening kickoff will be back for Vernon Hills. Lyle and Himmel.
Let's see if we can get another touchback with Tommy Gertner's tremendous boot.
Yeah, why not? If you have a kicker who can get it there, just take a touchback every time.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't look like it's going to get there this time, and it'll be received by Himmel. Himmel has room to run. He's at the 20 now, to the 30 before being taken out of bounds. Big time hit there by Tommy Gertner, the kicker.
The kicker that can hit.
The kicker who can kick, receive, and hit.
Man, he does everything. Truly a tremendous player.
Where the Cougars will take over 1st and 10.
Kyle Hull will have his offense start at their own 33 here. 1st and 10 with 5 receivers out for Mr. Hull. Hull has time, scrambles to his right. Will have to run out of bounds, really, and take a major loss. Excellent pressure there from the Hogs on GBN's defensive line.
Oh, yeah, I know Coach Purdy has been working with his line to stay top-notch. Because I feel like in high school football, if you can shut down that quarterback, that can cause major problems.
Absolutely. We talked about the size of the players Glenbrook North has to deal with most years. This year, however, their defensive line is an abnormality, really. They're big. This is a big bunch of guys.
Weingartner falls incomplete.
Brings up 3rd and 10 for the Cougars. They have yet to get a yard on this possession.
Wow.
For a team that goes for it on a lot of 4th downs, you'd have to think they're in 2-down territory here. 2 tries to just get a yard.
Looks like they could just give it to Jimmy Carfus or have the quarterback hold. Looks like both those have found a lot of success tonight.
Well, they're sticking with a very similar formation that we've seen them use throughout this game. 4 receivers out, Carfus in the backfield. Handoff to Carfus up the middle. Bulldozes the man and keeps going to the 20. For a kid who's 5'7", that's a remarkable play.
He is 5'7" and all muscle, that kid. Muscle and just quickness.
Like a bowling ball.
I mean, he just ran over that defender.
People were worried here in Northbrook that Glenbrook North was really going to miss the presence of Texas A&M running back John Clark this year. Fortunately for them, they might have found another gem in Jimmy Carfus. Both wear number 22.
And that is the end of the first quarter with the Spartans leading the Vernon Hills Cougars to score 7-0.
So far it's been all GBN. Both sides of the football. Let's talk about defense first. Their front 7 on defense has caused a multitude of problems for Kyle Hull. He's had no time to run, no time to get a pass off, and frankly, when he's had the time to get his pass offs, his receivers just drop the open balls.
Yeah. Looks like Vernon Hills offense really can't get much going. The only thing really going for them is that QB hold, which is getting them about 6 yards every time they do it, but otherwise that can't do that all game. But as we sort of saw it when we saw Vernon Hills warming up, they can't catch a cold.
You know what? I've heard a lot of great things about Coach Bill Bellacomo, Vernon Hills head coach. One of the best in the business at making adjustments between quarters. So look for a different style of play coming from Vernon Hills, especially on the offensive end here at the start of the second quarter.
Now, if you were the coach for Glenbrook North, would you tell them to change up anything, or you say keep going the way we're going right now, or do you think there are any adjustments need to be made?
It's funny you ask that question. They keep sending TJ Weinzimmer alone on one side of the field with 3 other receivers out. And to me, it looks like they're only putting 1 man on TJ. You said this at the beginning of the broadcast. TJ Weinzimmer is a potential college athlete. You got to put more than 1 guy on him, because for a guy like TJ, man-to-man coverage means he's open.
Yeah.
And once again, TJ Weinzimmer alone on the left side. This time Burnside's going to keep it, though, and gets to about the 17-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to get a gain of 3 to 4 right there.
3 to 4 yards. It's big 3rd down here for Glenbrook North and the Cougars' defense.
I believe it is 2nd down.
2nd down. Correction, you are right. That's why it's a 2-man job here.
Well, thank you for joining me today. I know I sort of invited you late, but thank you for joining me. As always, whenever we announce together, it is a great time.
It's great, and I've had a lot of fun doing these games. Last year, I announced a playoff game against Bradley Bourbonnais. That was one for the ages.
That might have been the top 5 most exciting football games I've seen all time.
At any level. And back to this game, though. Burnside has time in the pocket, finds Gertner in the end zone.
Oh!
And he caught it! He got at least a foot down. That's all you need in high school. Burnside found man-to-man coverage with his receiver, Tommy Gertner. And the Spartans strike again. They're up 13-0.
Oh, wow. Tommy Gertner, another senior getting looked at by colleges. Apparently, when I was talking to Coach Weiner today, not only is it just TJ, there is a list of 4 to 5 guys getting seriously looked at by colleges, D1, D2, and D3. That is seriously something you don't see coming out of Glenbrook North every year.
Well, it's what you expect when you look at this team's record. They're 7-0, and more impressive than that, this team has yet to trail in a second half of a football game. I mean, that's fascinating stuff. The extra point underway.
Oh.
It is good for Tommy Gertner, the man who caught the touchdown, seals the deal with an extra point. And with 11:07 left in the first half, the undefeated Glenbrook North Spartans lead the Vernon Hills Cougars 14-0.
Let's see. Right now, Vernon Hills is looking to turn around and at least get into field goal distance. As we were saying off air, no, you told me that their kicker is tremendous. He's a college. He is most likely, he could play college to be a kicker. That's how great he is.
Smith. There was an article online written about him. They interviewed Coach Bill Bellicomo, and Bellicomo said, quote, whatever college has him, will be super lucky because this kid is a gem.
Wow.
And it's a bummer that we have not seen him attempt a field goal yet. He hit a 47-yard field goal last week against East. He's 26 of 26 on extra points, but his offense has to get him in scoring position before he can strike.
You can't be 70-yard field goals right now. Looks like the offense has to do a little for us to see.
Well, Tommy Gertner, the man who plays on all 3 phases. Lyle will return it. Caught at the 2, runs to about 15 before being taken by of Glenbrook North.
So, yeah, Glenbrook North really got to him fast. No one blocked for him at all. He had nowhere to go. Looks like they'll take it right around the 15. Correction, 17-yard line. All right. It's interesting to see with Vernon what they're going to come out. Are they going to try a diamond stack? Go with the 5 guys. You never know. And I think that's what makes Vernon Hills so exciting. Because their offense is pretty unpredictable.
And another flag. And they're saying it's against the defense this time. For 2 teams that pride themselves on discipline and focus, it is absolutely crazy the number of penalties we have already seen here.
Oh, man, they're going to be doing some heavy, heavy running in this coming practice. I was talking to Starr.
Justin Starr.
I was talking to the Starr lineman, Michael Factor. Michael Factor says every penalty they get is 100 yards.
Quarterback keeper for Kyle Hall. Gets to about the 26-yard line before being taken down.
I think we are seeing right now Brennan Hughes just totally taking over on defense. He is everywhere. You can't keep him off the quarterback. Something Brennan is known for is his just monstrous defensive abilities.
Glenbrook North is very fortunate. They're filled with upperclassmen, especially seniors, who this is not their first varsity season. They all played last year, and there's a very common trend you see in IHSA with the successful teams when you're looking at the playoffs. It's the teams that are led by seniors, and have a multitude of them that go far, and GBN has all that. Another quarterback keeper for Kyle Hall fights his way to the 35-yard line. Will be taken down, and we'll face a 3rd and short.
Let's see if Glenbrook North can stop him, bring him the 4th. Oh, never mind. See if they can keep him here.
You know, the penalties keep messing our minds up with these downs. You even having these repeat first downs. But here we go. 2nd and about 5 for Vernon Hills.
Looks like with a running back in the backfield, 2 and 2 on each side.
Kyle Hull, pass complete. Not for much, though. Will be interesting to see if they give him the first. I believe they will give the Cougars the first down.
They are moving the chains with right under 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 57 seconds left in the first half.
Yep.
First down.
Clock is a ticking for Kyle Hull's offense. 5 receivers out.
They need to get some offense generated before the first half. I think if you go in, really go in the locker room, didn't score anything between the first and second quarter, man, that's a heavy mindset to play with.
Handoff there to Drew Weingartner. Not much, just about a yard. What worked for Vernon Hills earlier? It was when they risked it. They did stuff out of the ordinary where they put 5 receivers on one side. For a defense as strong as Glenbrook North, you have to do stuff that will put them off guard.
It's like man in motion, and they're going to fake it, and they're going to throw. Oh, again.
Yep, incomplete pass to Miko McCarthy. And he's a playmaker, but when 4 cornerbacks are on him, he's not catching that ball.
Yeah, no, they swamped him. Quarterback was under pressure, too. It's like Glenbrook North's defense is doing basically almost everything right, minus, a couple penalties.
Yeah.
Man, they're
take away those silly, foolish penalties. You're looking at an elite defense.
Oh, yeah.
Spartan defense. Spartan Army, let's hear you make some noise.
Big 3rd down for Kyle Hull and company. 5 receivers out, man in motion. Hull scrambles right, pressure's coming.
Oh.
Nowhere to go. He throws it away, and it'll bring up 4th down for the Cougars.
Wow, yeah, that Spartan defense just broke through that line. There was no way the offensive line could have blocked anyone on the defensive line. Man, that was pressure.
We talked about the leader on the offensive end of the team, Kevin Burnside, earlier, but this team also has a leader on the defensive side. His name is Matt Pulowski.
Matt Pulowski, so close to winning Player of the Month.
Yeah.
Man.
Vernon Hills will punt the football here. Decent punt. Carfus is back to receive. He's going to let it bounce. An unfortunate roll the ball will take for GBN, and they'll take over at the 11-yard line.
That puts us in not the greatest field position, but with Spartans' tough offense to beat, I can see us marching down the field, no problem.
That's what this offense does. They've been doing it all season long. And I was talking to student manager Danny Brodson before this game, and I told him, look, Danny, I've been so impressed with this team so far, all phases of the ball. Why don't they play better teams? I mean, the CSL North Conference, they're a solid conference, but play a team on the other side like Maine South or New Trier. And You know what? They might have to in the playoffs in the coming weeks, but it would have been interesting to see them play one of those teams earlier in the season. As Burnside hands the ball off to Carfus there for a 2-yard gain. Jacob, I ask you this. If you're Glenbrook North and you're Mr. Catalano, the athletic director, and next year and you're trying a schedule for the upcoming years, do you roll the dice and try and get a Maine South or a Montini Catholic, a really elite team, or do you stick to the script and schedule teams at, even skill level like Prospect and Hersey like GBN did this year?
I think if I was Mr. Catalano, I would roll the dice a little bit. Get a team. Even if we lose, it's a great experience. You will learn a lot from losing a game.
Burnside completes a pass on the right side of the field for a first down to TJ Weinzimmer. Jacob, I absolutely agree. There is something great about being undefeated. But if you suffer a loss early in non-conference play against a very solid team, where that game creates experiences for you that you won't get in CSL North play. Like, for example, maybe a game, dare I say, where GBN trails in the second half.
Yeah.
That's something they're going to have to do if they want to advance in the playoffs. I mean, like it or not, it's hard to say Glenbrook North is going to coast through the IHSA playoffs without trailing in the second half.
Right. I think definitely playing a team that's much better exposes your weaknesses, because as of now, we've just looked unbeatable.
Talk about grit and determination. That's what Jimmy Carfus has. Runs it up the middle again, gets an 8-yard gain, but has to beat 3 tackles to get there.
Let's see what formation we're going to be doing. Looks like we are sending 4 wide receivers. Yeah. 4 wide receivers. Carson back
4 receivers out. Weinzimmer alone on the left side.
Officials timeout.
And the official will take a timeout. Something's wrong here. I believe something's wrong with Carfus' attire. I'm not so sure. He'll run off and send in James McCorris.
Looks like something that must have happened with Carfus' shoe.
Yeah.
They're all trying to retie it. But McCorris, another great running back.
2nd and 3 for the Spartans. 4 receivers out. McCorris to Burnside's left. Watch out for Weinzimmer once again in man-to-man coverage.
Wow, they are really playing him deep, but that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So they just go for the
There
short
you go.
pass.
Weinzimmer again.
Yeah.
First down. I mean,
That's all you need to do the entire game. Just keep moving those chains. Keep getting yards.
if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I mean, don't mess with success. This offense has been reeling and dealing with Burnside passing to T.J. Weinzimmer. Simple as that.
I mean, you can't stop him. Play TJ up close. He'll run past you. Play him far back. He'll catch the ball short and run. I mean, it's an impossible position to try to guard him.
7:17 left. Spartans up 2 touchdowns. Burnside's going to keep this one. Finds some space. Gets the ball to about the 45. That'll bring up 2nd and 5.
Gain 6 brings up.
If Glenbrook North does score on this possession and creates a 3-possession ball game, you're in some big, big trouble if you're Coach Bellicomo of Vernon Hills.
Yeah, Coach Bellicomo has not seen his offense look, and you can argue his defense has not looked that great so far. Again, Noah, if you were Coach Bellicomo, what would you try to change? What would you try to tell your players to inspire them?
I'll let you know after this play because Burnside finds Carfus wide open on a screen pass and another first down. Glenbrook North is a knocking on the door. Welcome into Vernon Hills territory. Well, to answer your question, Jacob, I would just try and do something different, something that Glenbrook North hasn't prepared for, because we know all these players. We know that they spend so much time throughout the week studying film and taking notes. So if Vernon Hills ran a play last week, let's say against Maine East, these boys on GBN saw it. So you got to give them something new.
Again, like stacking up 5 guys on one side.
Wow, wide open, T.J. Weinzimmer, left side of the field, just short of the first down. Glenbrook North is a-marching.
With 6 minutes left, you can almost undoubtedly say they will get close to scoring. Time is not limiting them right now.
It's been the Gertner and Weinzimmer show today.
But you have seen that throughout almost the entire season. Something not surprising, but at the same time, so very effective. And they know, Vernon Hills knows it's coming too.
Weinzimmer on the far right, Gertner on the far left. Burnside fakes the handoff and is going to run. Looks like he's just short of the first down.
3rd and about 1.
Nothing a Jimmy Carfus handoff can't deal with.
Oh, yes.
I tell you what, though, GBN just has so many weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can argue Kevin Burnside is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the state. I mean, he really is. Not many people know his name, but I've talked to people from Deerfield, Highland Park, and after we play them, they come up to me and they say, Noah, is this Burnside kid playing college? I mean, this kid's a gem. And I say, unfortunately, he hasn't received any offers yet, but I'm sure the time will come because he certainly deserves it. As he finds Bubaris wide open there at about the 30-yard line. Bubaris gives a little stiff arm to the Vernon Hills defender before going out of bounds at the 23. And once again, Kevin Burnside finds the open man.
And one thing looks like we're in a replay.
Yeah, right there you see Bubaris wide open, cut left, came back right before delivering a stiff arm and then running out of bounds.
And something I really love about Kevin Burnside is he is not afraid to get hit. He will run right through you. He's not a quarterback that likes to slide. He will fight for every extra yard.
I like that aspect about him, but it also is concerning. Because when you consider the lack of depth at the quarterback position that the Spartans have, it scares me a little bit to see Burnside take those hits, because if this guy goes down, I mean, a lot might go wrong for the Spartans as an end around comes to Bubaris for a 6-yard gain. Let's talk about the quarterback depth.
But there seems to be a flag on the field. So let's see what they're going to do with this call.
I think it might have been against Vernon Hills. Might have been offsides.
Holding. Oh, on the offense.
That's going to cost you big time.
Oh, yeah.
She said it earlier. Glenbrook North is doing everything right except not committing penalties. It's mind-boggling.
Wow, that is a tough loss to take, especially right after you get that 6-yard gain. Just all send it right back. Nothing the Spartan offense can overcome, and we have hit the 5-minute mark of the second quarter.
First and long for Glenbrook North. First and about 20.
Oh, man.
Burnside in the shotgun.
But when you got T.J. Weinzimmer, who can go deep.
Yeah, he's
really
scrambling right. Finds an open Tommy Gertner, who gets taken out of bounds at about the 27-yard line.
Great idea. Stop the clock a little bit and just keep those simple passes coming.
We were talking earlier about Burnside's ability to take big hits, but the potential risk that has. The other day, the Spartans called up sophomore quarterback Cameron Casey because they realized that they didn't have a great backup quarterback on their roster, or at least a junior or senior who could do the job. I know Davu Keels is a great quarterback, but he's hurt right now. So they had to call the sophomore coach and bring up Casey, who I hear is a pretty great kid. Burnside scrambles left, finds a wide open Tommy Gertner, who extends the ball for a first down.
First down, Spartans.
All right. We'll take you downfield with our interviewee, Eva, who is next to Coach Wilhelm and Coach Bayok, the coach of the GBN cheerleading team.
Cheerleading coaches. Hi, I'm Eva, and I'm here with some of the cheerleading coaches.
I'm Coach Wilhelm.
I'm Coach Bayok. And so we have a few questions for you guys. First, what are some of your favorite cheers?
Well, we start every game with Let's Get Started to get the crowd involved. And then any crowd that involves the crowd going back and forth, like GBN Go North or Let's Get a Little Bit Rowdy. The girls really enjoy doing that because that's when the fans really get into it and get the game going.
Great. Also, how do you guys get the crowd involved in the cheers and bring spirit to Glenbrook North?
So the crowd really responds to any kind of skills or stunts we throw. So we'll throw baskets. The crowd loves that. We'll throw tumbling skills when we flip. The crowd really enjoys that too.
Great. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, looks like they're going to be taking time. Oh, Rose.
Burnside.
Oh, so close with the catch. Just bobbled right off his hands and couldn't hold it down.
Tommy Gertner was open for about a half a second. Burnside saw him, but by the time the ball came, he was already out of bounds and couldn't come up with it either way.
Looks like it is third and long. It looks like, let's look at the replay for this play.
Yeah, as you can see, even if he would have caught it, would have been very questionable if he was in bounds. But that's an uncatchable ball. I mean,
quarterback was under pressure, had to make a split-second decision.
Gertner was not in position to receive that pass.
Yeah, not at all.
But look at the right side of your screen, Jacob. He's alone in single coverage right now. Maybe Burnside takes a second chance on him. He does. Finds Gertner in the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Knocked out of his hand. That is some great defense by the cornerback right there. Really trying to lock down Tommy Gertner. And looks like it is fourth and almost forever. It is 4th and 13 with 3 minutes and 39 seconds left here. Let's see what the Spartans are going to do.
Yeah, they're sending out the field goal unit. This is the smart thing. Look at what you've been able to do on defense this game if you're Coach Pieper. You have not allowed Vernon Hills to achieve any success. I take the points. I absolutely agree with the experienced head coach here.
100%. When you are not even allowing a team to barely get past the 50 in your own territory, maybe once or twice, man, that is something you got to feel proud of and just say, hey, we'll go for the easy points.
Glenbrook North is known to sometimes throw some fakes at you, so maybe, just maybe, we'll see one of those. Uh-oh. Movement up front.
Flag on the play.
Oh, no. I think it is against the Spartans. Oh, man, that's another 100 for him.
And that really, really stinks if you're Glenbrook North. When you're about to kick a field goal, looked like it was a chip shot. Now it's moved back to the 20, which will create a 37-yard attempt for Gertner. I mean, he's a good kicker. This is about his range where he starts maybe missing. No longer a chip shot.
See if we make this a 3-possession game. Beautiful. Nice high kick. Looks like it's going right down the middle, and it's good for Tommy Gertner as the Spartans now take the lead. 17-0 with 3 minutes and 32 seconds left in the half. Man, no, you got to be beyond happy with your team right now if you're Coach Pieper. 17-0 against a very good Vernon Hills team.
Can I please pick up Tommy Gertner in fantasy football? I mean, I get extra points, I get field goals, I get touchdown receptions. It is insane. I really, really admire players like Gertner, the ones who are able to play all sides of the ball. It's really impressive. A lot of teams have good kickers, but those players aren't also great receivers and great defensive backs.
Yeah, Tommy can do it all for you. I mean, he doesn't get off the field. He doesn't get a second to breathe.
He reminds me a lot of Nick Harris.
Yes.
Played for Glenbrook North last year and the year before. Was a quarterback, a running back, receiver, cornerback. Wasn't a kicker, but he basically played every single play and did it all.
And now he's off at Augustana playing some football.
Yeah.
Another one of those college stories.
17-0 in favor of the home team here at William Lutz Stadium. 3:32 remaining in the half, and Gertner, the man of the hour, will boot it.
Looks like it's deep, not deep enough to get back for the touchback.
Lyle will take it, gets to about the 26 before being taken down by a multitude of Glenbrook North athletes.
Yeah, Glenbrook North seems really good with gang tackling. I mean, they can get there. That is causing Vernon Hills some massive problems. They can't get the ball and run. I mean, they have nowhere to go.
I'm very excited to see what Vernon Hills will give us here.
I mean, I would be very impressed if we could shut them out. And it looks like we are. We're going to shut them out maybe throughout the entire half.
Your back is completely against the wall right now if you're Coach Bill Bellicomo. Roll the dice. Snap to Hall. He'll keep it. Fights for some yardage. I don't even know if he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Couldn't find anything. Again, Noah, I 100% agree with you. Throw 5 guys on one side. Make it interesting.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Give me something. I mean, they have the athletes. Really, we said at the beginning, they have a height advantage. I mean, maybe try and throw the ball downfield and with a man in single coverage if that happens. A lot of options here if you're Vernon Hills.
Oh, wow. A big throw.
Open man.
Oh, and he seems to be putting on the jukes on some of our defenders. Wow.
Drew Weingartner, the running back, uses a receiver there and gets a lot of yardage. And Vernon Hills is now on Glenbrook North side of the football field.
And Coach Gio can't be happy about that. His defense let this huge force just open right down the middle. And that is something you cannot do if you're at the elite level. You cannot let those things be open. It looks like Gio is trying to fix what he can. But they are in Spartan territory right now, right on the 41?
Yeah, right about at the 41-yard line. Different quarterback here as Kyle Hull was a receiver and caught a pass. We mentioned at the beginning of the game, Kyle Hull was a wide receiver for the team last year. So really, you shouldn't be surprised that you just saw him catch a pass and run for 20 yards.
Yeah, especially with that little screen pass, and Weiner was warning us about it. They can definitely do that. Looks like they are real close to Spartan territory right now. Right on the 23. Oh, I think that is off.
Yeah, about at the 24-yard line. Yeah. It's definitely field goal range for them.
Definitely.
Snap to Hall. He's going to keep it.
Oh, wow. Quarterback
Finds a lot of open space. He's going to slide down at the 10. Jacob Berlinger. This is the Vernon Hills team that I saw last week, Scorch Main East.
Yeah, this is an entirely different offense from what we've been seeing. I mean, they have just come out with really fire under their feet. And as you said, they shut out Maine East. and beat them 44-0. I mean,
What
that is
about-
very impressive.
They beat Deerfield 10-7. Deerfield's a solid program.
Yeah, very.
Kyle Hull in the shotgun.
Looks like he might try to. Oh wow, we
Big
got
time
pressure on him.
pressure coming. Matt Pulowski.
Oh, so
laid
close to the
him out.
interception. Wow, can you imagine if we got that interception right there? Totally shut him down. We are approaching the 2-minute mark. There's 2 minutes and 8 seconds left of this half.
To bring him second down.
Second and goal from the 10 for Kyle Hull and company. What do you do here, Jacob?
Man, if I was Kyle Hull, I would probably stick to what's working. Maybe throw a light screen pass in there right on the right side. You got a lot of room right there. And looks like Glenbrook North really isn't stacking that side.
Yeah, 5 receivers out for Hull. Finds a wide open receiver. I believe it was Drew Weingardner again, the running back who can be used as a slot receiver. They'll get the ball at about the 1.
If the pass is complete, they stop
Looks like we're going to look at the replay of this. Look at that monstrous hit applied by number 4 for the Spartans.
Really gritty play by Glenbrook North.
That's
A lot of teams would have just let them walk in the end zone, but Glenbrook North said, no. We'll let you try again at the 2, and we're confident we can hold you back here.
And that hit was brought on by number 4, a sophomore, Ethan Quayle, who stepped up to varsity.
Kyle Hull's going to keep it himself.
And
He's taken down for a loss.
Stuck behind the line of scrimmage.
And now you're in a sort of a predicament if you're Bill Bellicomo. You have a kicker who's going to give you a field goal no matter what, but you're also only 3 yards away from the end zone, down 17-0.
Like number 70, Brandon Freeman was
you are definitely trying to get some points up there before the first half. And we are
I think
approaching.
they're going for it.
Wow. And exactly right now, we are 1 minute away from the end of the first half. A very exciting game so far. This can make things interesting very fast.
3 receivers bunched up on the right. And I believe Coach Pieper used a timeout there to.
take their first charge. Teams have
He wanted to wait and see what Vernon Hills would throw at him. And now he's going to scheme against it.
Yes.
So if you're Bellicomo, it's like a chess match. Do you send the same formation out, assuming Pieper has now devised a game plan to go against it? Do you change things up now that you got Pieper to, burn a timeout? Football's a,
GBN Athletics.
very interesting sport that really works the brain, and it's very similar to chess. Chess with a lot of pieces and a lot of space.
And the crowd right now, they are hyped up right now. They are trying to help the home team go in with the shutout.
It's funny. I think they're actually more excited for what's next. Color Guard,
Yes.
a crew that has become legends at this high school. I know the crowd likes the football team, but part of me thinks that there's a portion of this student section that came for the Color Guard.
I couldn't agree with you more, Noah.
Kyle Hull in shotgun, huge 4th down here. Finds Weingardner open
for the
in the
touchdown.
end zone. The man who got them in position to strike delivers the final punch, and Bill Bellicomo's crew is on the board here with 44 seconds left in the half.
Now, if you're Glenbrook North, they almost had that possession. That was pretty easy for them. If you're Glenbrook North, you got to start changing things up right now. Maybe have some double coverage. You never know.
Well, Weingardner has put this offense on his back, tallied close to 60 yards on that possession. Locker room time coming up. Whoa! Blocked extra point.
Something you don't see every day, but something I know the Spartans practice is how they can put pressure on the kicker.
You might not think that means anything. Wrong. It does. This could have been a field goal and a touchdown game. Now it's an 11-point game, which you could argue is a 3-possession or a 2-possession game with 2 touchdowns now. Or if you kick the field goal, you'll then need to go for 2 if you're Vernon Hills. Really makes the next half a lot more difficult for Vernon Hills trying to tie this ball game up.
Let's see what the Spartans are going to do here. If you are Coach Pieper, would you maybe take the knee, or would you try to go and get some extra points to make up for what just happened?
Great question. One that probably doesn't have a right answer.
Yeah.
44 seconds left. If I'm Pieper, I have 3 timeouts, and that's weird. I'm almost certain they had keeper called a timeout moments ago on that 4th and goal try. That's at least what our stadium announcer said, but our scoreboard says 3. Whatever. You still have 44 points and at least a couple 44 seconds and at least a couple timeouts. With a quarterback like Burnside and a kicker who has shown me that he has some range, why not? Why not try? I mean, that's one way to look at it, and then the other way to look at it is this. If I'm Coach Pieper, obviously. I'm undefeated. So far this game, we've had the better game. I'm pretty confident in our defense. I'm pretty confident our offense will be able to score again. Maybe we shouldn't risk it. So really 2 right answers here, as usual. Fortunately, I'm not in position to make the call here. We just have to describe the story to you.
All right, looks like Carf's going to take the ball. He's going to push back the 20 and get right around the 26-27.
He had a foot in the end zone when he caught it, which made me wonder if it would be ruled a touchback, but I believe the rule is if the ball crosses the end line, it's a touchback, and he caught the ball right at about the half-yard line.
And his foot just went back.
Heads-up play by Jimmy Carfus by actually running that ball out, because let me tell you, Jacob, there would have been a lot of players who would make the mistake, and they would just stop running. They would assume, oh, touchback. Yep. And that would have really cost them. It could have been a potential safety. Could have been down to 1.
Oh, that would have been a mess.
Lucky you have a high football IQ guy in Jimmy Carfus on your kick return team.
Looks like they're going to give it. They're going to keep it with Carfus. Carfus is going to keep running. And
so there's your answer.
Yep.
They're probably not going to try and get into field goal range. If I'll hand it off to Carfus, and if he gets us there, he gets us there. But we're going to play the safe road here with the clock ticking down to 22 seconds. Believe the Spartans will run one more play.
See what they're trying to do.
No. Burnside's near the sideline. The team's starting to head there. I think they're just going to run this one out, and we'll head to the locker room.
But what an exciting first half it was, as the Spartans are leading officially at the end of the first half, 17 to Vernon Hills 6. Vernon Hills' last possession was a little bit concerning. But, man, the Spartans have looked great throughout the first half. Noah, do you agree with that?
Absolutely. We were ready to count the Cougars out, but they answered back with a really late touchdown by Weingardner.
Looks like we are going to be...
Yeah, don't change the channel, though. I know it's halftime. I know you want to go to the bathroom, get a water break, whatever. But in just a few moments, our GBN TV crew will be interviewing Jimmy Carfus. So you'll want to stay tuned there. And then do your business after that. But really make sure you stay watching on the Cube and be ready for what's probably going to be an excellent interview by the GBN TV crew and Jimmy Carfus.
And looks like we have the Palms team going out there, and they're sporting all different types of Chicago uniforms, unfortunately.
Yeah, a lot of they're representing a lot of players who aren't on Chicago teams anymore. I see a Carlos Boozer jersey.
All right, looks like we are going to be having an interview.
We want to talk about these jerseys. We'll talk about them later. Yeah. Head down to the field with the GBN TV crew and Jimmy Carfus.
Take it away.
It's just working as a team, honestly. As we said all season, we're a family, and when we're together, nothing can beat us. We're very strong together, and that's what makes us great. Work together and everything,
Awesome. And what are you most looking forward to the playoffs?
Hoping we get a home game, get in front of a big crowd, just get a lot of energy, just have fun. I mean, not do what we did last year.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is that good?
Yeah, thanks.
Great job, everybody.
Jagged edges of triangles create tension and expectation, even in the most beautiful art. The graceful arcs of circles give us a sense of calm serenity.
That it? There's only one headset for the field cameras. Which one does it go to? Yeah, I'm gonna need somebody here, right? Oh, you're gonna go in? Yeah. Oh, you gotta fold it into the light. This goes
Peaceful moments in art are only fleeting, always giving way to new energy and life. Squares, with their perfect edges, can bring clarity to chaos.
Any lights?
Oh, there's two.
What do they mean by
Combining
shaky?
these different sounds, shapes, and colors creates a beautiful kaleidoscope of artistic effect.
No, should we just talk and assume we're on?
Yeah.
Well, welcome back. With 40 seconds remaining at halftime before the second half kicks off, the Spartans are leading the Cougars 17-6 in a very exciting game. Cougars' offense didn't really perk up at all till the very, very end of the first half. Right now, Noah, what are you looking forward to see the rest of the game? What are you looking to see the Spartans do?
Let me tell you something. I honestly believe we and the Glenbrook North Spartans have yet to see Vernon Hills at their best. We saw shades of their best on that last possession where they scored. Still, I do not believe we have seen their best. And for that alone, I think it's safe to say we are playing another half for a reason. This game is far from over. 17-6. Vernon Hills is 5-2 for a reason. They have the bodies and the pieces to compete with Glenbrook North. They get the ball rolling. Things could get dangerous for the Spartans down the line. That is what I'm excited to see, Jacob.
I couldn't agree with you more. Vernon Hills, I want to see them throw stuff unique. Stack the 5 guys on one side. Right now, it is the kickoff.
Yep.
Glenbrook North having
Running back Jimmy Carfus in the backfield.
A little bit of a short punt. Carfus takes it, no problem.
Carfus is finding an opening on the right side of the field for being taken down at the 32-yard line. I wonder if he would have kept running to the outside if he would have gotten more yardage.
I think maybe he could have, because I feel like the whole right side sort of collapsed.
Yeah. Jimmy Carfus, also a huge playmaker for the Glenbrook North Spartans.
Oh, yeah.
Had a few big runs in the first half, but like I said about Vernon Hills, I'm not sure if we've seen the best Jimmy Carfus yet. Won't really get to see a running Jimmy Carfus here as Burnside's alone in the backfield on 1st and 10 with 5 receivers out. Carfus in motion.
Oh, no, the
Burnside's
quarterback
going to keep it and gets maybe a yard.
Something we've seen a lot is they're really trying to throw the defense off, throwing it on 1 and 2. They're really not trying to let the count go, where they can predict it. Unfortunately, it really hasn't paid off. It sort of hurt us more than it's hurt them.
2nd and 10 for the Spartans at their own 31. Back to what we know with the Spartans. Jimmy Carfus to the right of Kevin Burnside with 4 receivers out. Bubaris in single coverage on the left, but Burnside scrambles to his right as he finds Tommy Gertner on the right side of the field for a 7-yard gain.
Again, Tommy Gertner doing one of many things he can do. He can catch the ball, he can run. Again, but he can kick and he can play defense too.
Told you, I want him on my fantasy team.
Yeah, seriously.
Safe to say, I really believe it's safe to say, through the first half and through the first minute or so of the second half, Tommy Gertner has been the MVP.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think coming up a close second, Kevin Burnside has looked phenomenal, but then you look at Tommy Gertner, and then you just say, man, he's just done everything.
Burnside once again in shotgun, finds an open Bubaris who drops the ball after receiving a late hit from Himmel.
And that is going to bring up 4th and 3. Let's see what we're going to do here. I believe we're going to punt it. I don't think we're going to try to go for it. But why go for it when you're up? Arguably 2-possession game.
We talked about players doing multiple jobs on the Spartans with Tommy Gertner kicking and receiving. Very similar to Gertner, TJ Weinzimmer, a star receiver, is also the punter, and he's got a boot. And you'll get to see it on display right here as the Spartans are punting from their own 38. Good snap to Weinzimmer.
Nice boot.
Yep. Fair catch made by the Cougars at about their own 30-yard line. Kyle Hull will get a chance to put the Cougars back on the board early in the second half and make this a one-possession ball game.
Let's see what the Cougars offense can do now. With over 10 minutes in the third quarter, time, no need to rush. Not at all. Let's see what they're going to do. Looks like, as of now, we are seeing they are going to put 4.
Well, Coach Bellicomo, master of adjusting at halftime and at the end of quarters. Maybe we see something new here. Man in motion
with
for
this
Hull.
runaround.
Yep. Running back Weingardner with the carry. The guy who got the touchdown earlier in the game for them. Gets about 4 yards on the play.
Interesting thing, really, we saw after the first 2 possessions, they stopped going for that sort of weird stack formation thing. Didn't really work with them.
Well, now Hall is alone in the backfield with 5 receivers out. Scrambles to his right.
Pressure is immediate.
Forced to throw it out of bounds because, as you mentioned, the immediate pressure coming from the Glenbrook North defensive line.
And that is something Coach Purdy has been working with them, is just to try to put the pressure on the quarterback. We haven't really seen them blitzing that heavy. It's all that big D-line. As you said, the D-line is something really special this year due to how big we are. It's something we usually aren't.
Big, and they're also quick on their feet.
Thanks to TC Boost. They have really begun that with an explosive workout.
3rd and about 7 for the Cougars as Kyle Hull runs a play action, has time in the pocket. Going to sling one down the field, but it is picked off. Fabulous interception for Glenbrook North. It was Luke Amon on the play. You said it yourself, 12-season athlete. He's quick, he's big, he's strong, and he makes those types of plays game in and game out for the Spartans.
Yeah, and that's what makes Luke so dangerous, just how fast he is. Again, because he does track and field, he is lightning fast out there. Something very hard for wide receivers and quarterbacks to try to beat.
Burnside will take over at his own 38. Got Weinzimmer on the left of your screen in single coverage. Looks at him, but goes the other way to Carfus, who was open, but bobbled a pass and missed it.
Probably heard the footsteps coming on behind him, but, man, that is something you got to do. Focus on the catch before you focus on the run. Easy catch. Should have been for a couple of yards. Unfortunately, now it is 2nd and 10.
Every GBN game, you usually see Burnside try at least 1 or 2, gunslinging throws down the field. We haven't really seen one yet from him.
The only person who's throwing the ball down the field is Bubaris.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe we'll get something here. Shotgun formation for Burnside.
Now they're going to
hand off up the middle to Carfus. Nothing there.
Wow, and there you're starting to see that Vernon Hills defense that put a shutout on Maine East, 44-0. Looks like our offense can't get anything going. And unfortunately, again, it is going to be 3rd and a little long.
You mentioned it. Cougars have an elite defense. And if it wasn't for a really costly late turnover a few weeks ago against Maine West, this team would be coming into this matchup against GBN with no blemishes on their conference record.
Let's see if they're going to keep Carps in the backfield.
Yep, 3rd and 11 for GBN. Burnside scrambling to his right. He's got time and an open receiver at about the 48-yard line. Alexander Bubaris was the receiver on the play.
You know, this year, Alexander Bubaris broke a reception yards, broke the record.
Oh, yeah, I think that was in one of the first games of the season against Grant. Does that sound familiar? I think that.
Yep.
All right, Glenbrook North. We'll get a new set of downs here at their own 49.
And we were promised 2 buses full of students from Vernon Hills. I just haven't seen it yet.
They got something. I mean, let's be honest here, Jacob. That student section you're seeing on your screen, it's larger than usual for the road team. I go to a lot of high school football games. I went to the roadie at Hersey a few weeks back. I was one of like 10 students at GBN. So we're making fun of it now, but in reality, I'm quite impressed.
Yeah.
Not 2 buses, but there's a handful of kids there. 2nd down for Glenbrook North. They're doing something they usually don't do often, and that's spend a lot of time huddling up.
Yeah, something that makes our offense so special is we're not a hurry-up offense, but we don't take our time, that's for sure.
Back to that familiar set for Glenbrook North with 4 receivers out and Carfus as the halfback. Play action. Burnside seeing pressure. He's taken down for a major loss.
Like number 56.
That's really costly if you're the Spartans. Brings up a 3rd and long. You're no longer on the Vernon Hills side of the field. We talked about it moments ago, though. Burnside has an arm. He hasn't really put it on display yet. He might be asked to use it right now.
It looks like we're going to an interview. Hope you guys enjoy.
guys, I'm here with Mr. Chapman. I'm the band director. So yeah, it's clear that you guys, what you pull off is amazing. So can you tell me a little bit about what it takes to practice and how much work you put into doing this?
Yeah, we picked the show early in the spring, and then over the summer we start working on the show. We practice evenings a couple nights a week throughout the summer, the winds, the percussion, the color guard. And then once the season starts, we have a week of band camp before school starts, and then we practice about 6 hours a week during the fall out here on the football field, 6 to 9 p.m.
So you guys clearly want chances to show off what you practice. So are there any competition? Do you guys do competitions? Are there any coming up?
Yeah, we compete throughout the fall. We have a competition tomorrow down at Providence Catholic down in New Lenox, pretty far from here. It's our last competition of the season, so we're really looking forward to a good show. The kids have been getting better every contest. There are about 6 bands in our class, and it's quite different than this. It's really kind of cool. It's real quiet, and you can actually hear the band. Nobody's talking. But we're looking forward to a great show.
All right, thanks, Mr. Chapman. I appreciate it. All right, guys, back to you.
I think they're going for the deep pass.
I mean, look, you just see Wines, TJ just standing right there. That big threat. Oh, yeah.
He almost looks like he's too ready.
Yeah.
Starts lining up, doesn't even realize there's a huddle going on. Could they possibly be giving away the play right now? We'll see. Burnside will line up in shotgun as expected. 4 receivers out. Carver's in the backfield. He'll likely be used for a block here.
Oh, wow. No.
Burnside screen pass to
pass.
Carfus. Not much there.
Got to about 4th and 20.
And once again, Glenbrook North will be forced to punt the football. A rare sight. But this Vernon Hills defense, as you mentioned, Jacob, might be the best defense Glenbrook North has played all season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not only are we forced to punt, we are forced to punt behind the line of scrimmage where we initially started.
Yeah, behind our... We said it earlier, Glenbrook North likes to do fakes, but when you're up 17-6 and your defense has been bailing you out, not sure we'll see one of those right now. But you never know. Good snap. Weinzimmer, excellent boot. Got some height on it, too.
Looks like
Weingardner will receive the kickoff or the punt for Vernon Hills and gets to about the 31-yard line before being chased out of bounds.
Now let's see if the Spartan defense can again, as you said, bail out the offense, which is something we are not used to as Glenbrook North football fans this year. We are used to the offense, scoring or getting really close every possession.
Okay, this might sound crazy, but if I'm a Glenbrook North Spartan football fan, I'm okay with the situation they're in right now.
Yeah.
Because as I mentioned moments before this broadcast, or moments before we got back on air at halftime, this team has not faced a lot of adversity yet.
Right.
And that's something they'll have to face in the playoffs if they want to continue their success, as Hall runs a quarterback keeper for about a yard. Jacob, as long as the Spartans don't let up any points, I think watching this offense struggle is a blessing in disguise for Bob Pieper's squad.
It will expose your weaknesses. It's good overall for the team. But, man, that defense out there right now for the Spartans looks pretty top-notch. Right now it's a defensive battle right now in the second half with just over 5 minutes and 49 seconds left in the third quarter.
Second and 9 for Kyle Hull. Looking at his playbook on his wrist, he's got 4 receivers out and a man in motion. He's got time.
Oh, and they're going to go for that screen pass
found
again.
A very open receiver there who's going to fight for the first down. This is a new Vernon Hills offense, Jacob.
Yep. Something Coach Weiner was warning me about today, and is also something when you interviewed the manager, they warned about how quick they can just turn the game around and how fast you can count them out and they can just come right back in because they like to change up.
Yeah, absolutely. High school football is a game about adjustments. Let's look at the field right now. You see a lot of guys who are around the similar height, similar size, similar skill level. Who's going to be the team to make the adjustments? Most likely that's going to be the team that ends up in the W column as Kyle Hull finds another open receiver for a 7-yard gain. And they are marching down the field, Jacob.
Oh, yeah, this is something we rarely see.
Bit of a wake-up call for this Glenbrook North defense that we were praising just an hour ago as a top-notch defense. They're being shredded apart right now. Kyle, play action.
Oh, they're going to go for the long ball. Maybe
Slinging
another
the ball,
interception.
finds Weingartner deep.
Oh, nice
Incomplete
defense by
pass.
the cornerback. Wow, that was really, really contested.
Very risky throw by Kyle Hull. But the man's a risk taker. Reminds me a lot of a young Eli Manning, a young Andrew Luck, the guys who just finds a guy in single coverage and slings it down the field and throws a 50-50 ball.
And maybe we should start doing that more. I mean, as we said, we have multiple D1 and D2,
Absolutely.
D3 recruits.
Kyle Hull finds another open receiver for a first down.
And that just brings them right into Spartan territory.
This defense looks lost right now. They're looking to the sidelines for answers, and in any sport, Jacob, that's a bad sign.
Looks like Coach Gio and Coach Weiner are trying to convey something to the defense. The defense is just not picking it up.
Yes. Let me quote a good friend of mine, John Calipari. Good teams don't look for their coach to answer their problems. They look at each other. And that's what this defense is going to have to do here to stop the Kyle Hull runs another back, keep for lots of space and slides to about the 33-yard line.
I mean, he is averaging 6 yards a carry, which is pretty impressive for a quarterback.
They're going to have to dig deep, GBN, and find an answer because they are really opening up a door here that they did not want to open up. Cougars are looking like they have the momentum on their side. They look like they're the confident ones right now. It's been a tale of two halves as Kyle Hull finds another open receiver for a screen pass. Another first down. Jacob, am I crazy to think Glenbrook North might use a timeout soon?
No, looks like we're going to go to a replay right now.
Pass was complete to number 32, Jeffrey Rosenstock.
Well, it looks like we were trying to go to a replay there. Unfortunately, we could not give you that.
But nonetheless, if I was Glenbrook North, I would for sure take a timeout. No, I couldn't agree with you more because at this point, you got to stop their offense a little bit, slow them down a little bit. Oh!
There's the trickery we wanted from Coach Bellacomo, but ironically, doesn't work at all as the Cougars are stopped for a loss.
There's our defense getting right back into it, our D-line.
Yeah, our PA announcer, Justin Cooper, cracking some jokes, chirping at the Vernon Hill squad, as he just said, looks like the Statue of Liberty is still in New York, as they tried to run a Statue of Liberty play moments ago and was incredibly unsuccessful at doing so. Kyle Hull scrambles left, has time.
Throws it deep. Oh! Possibly intercept, but it was going out of bounds
Intended
anyway.
for Weingartner, his favorite target, but he was standing out of bounds when he caught the ball.
Great defense there by number 9.
Brings up 3rd and long for Kyle Hull. As we mentioned earlier, though, Jacob, this team has a college-ready kicker on their roster. He had an extra point blocked earlier. I'm not so sure that was his fault. I think that was more of the offensive line. But if they can get a few yards here, that's Smentz's range.
Oh, so close to a defensive line interception. That pressure, again, something Coach Purdy is just a genius at, just applying the pressure in all the right ways.
This will be a 49-yard field goal if they dare try it. Now keep in mind, Smens hit a 47-yard field goal last week.
Wow.
So I don't think this is out of his range if they try and do it.
I think they might try it.
I mean, the quarterback's looking to his coach like, let's send him out here. Take the points. They look lost. Vernon Hills might have to use a timeout.
They might have to. Oh, that's a bad way to burn a timeout. At this point, they might just have to go out there and.
They're gonna get a playoff. They're gonna try and go for it.
Risky.
4th and 14.
With just 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Oh,
there it is.
Take
Timeout. Coach Bill Bellacomo. He might have forgotten just then that he has an elite kicker because I want to see this guy come out here. I don't know about you, but I heard last week, unfortunately, I wasn't at that Maine East game, but when I heard that he kicked a 47-yard field goal, my initial thought was, I want to see that next week at GBN. So please, Coach Bellacomo, Give me Smens.
We can afford to take the field goal, too, so let's bring this guy out here and see. Is he really worth
Yeah, well, a field goal makes it one possession game, would make it a 17-9 game. But, boy, Mr. Berlinger, it looks like the offense is still out here.
Oh, man, unfortunately, we do not get to see this great kicker. But at 4th and 14, wouldn't you rather just risk that? Because rarely have they gotten any plays that can go more than 14 yards.
This is very interesting. When you consider Coach Bellicomo praised his kicker to the Vernon Hills newspaper staff last week, said that any college coach would be super lucky to have him.
They're going to run a double misdirection, a triple misdirection. But
Kyle Hull finds Weingartner open, but nothing. After all that, you had 3 trick plays in 1. Nothing. Glenbrook North takes over. It was grueling. It was stressful. They had to fix and adjust themselves throughout. I liked what I saw from Glenbrook North's defense.
Yeah, I did too. They stayed calm throughout that trickery situation. They stayed on their man, and that's why that didn't end up in them moving the chains. Let's see what the offense can do now with 2 minutes and 26 seconds left of the
That looked like
quarter.
A state playoff-ready defensive stand to me.
Yeah, that did.
And this team has high hopes for the upcoming state playoffs. Kevin Burnside, though, is going to try and rally the troops back together on offense as he sends a quick pass in the direction of T.J. Weinzimmer for a 4-yard gain.
Hard hit by that cornerback. That's the only way to try to stop him, is try to lay him out, fortunately.
Only 2 minutes left in the third quarter. There have been no points scored in this quarter.
This has been a defensive war. Has been quite the fun game to watch.
There are some fans out there, Jacob, that just live and die for 3-0 football games.
Yeah.
And this quarter has been one of those quarters. A play action, and Burnside will keep it himself.
Oh,
he has space.
He's got space, and he could go. Oh.
Matt Lyle took him down, but not before Burnside runs it from the 30 to the 30.
Wow.
Spartans are marching into Cougar territory.
Again, something that makes him so dangerous. He's not afraid for the contact, so he won't slide early. He will run as hard as he can until that contact. It's risky, again, as you said, with the depth not being the greatest at the quarterback position.
Well, a score here for the Spartans, whether it be a field goal or a touchdown, would mean so much for the swing of this game. 5 receivers out for Burnside and shotgun. He's got time. Finds Gertner in the slot before being taken out of bounds for a 6-yard gain.
Looks to be a gain of 4.
And now Vernon Hills has their backs against the wall.
For the 26.
With over a minute and 15, right around a minute and 16 seconds. Let's see if they can maybe score some points third quarter.
2nd and 6, ball at the 26 for the Spartans. They're sticking with that shotgun formation. They have yet to do anything else, but hey, it's working. Handoff to Karfus up the middle, fighting for some yardage. Stays on his feet.
Wow, he could get 6 or 7 yards.
I think he got the first down.
Wow. Oh, they are moving the chains.
Wow.
Nice.
The little engine that could. Jimmy Karfus, number 22. Don't let his size fool you. This kid is a tank.
Tank mixed with a race car, that's for sure. Now we have reached the 56-second mark. Let's see if we can really hope on just tack on some points right now.
Third quarter nearing its end. Kevin Burnside would love to get a touchdown, though, before it ends.
Let's see if he can maybe throw
First
the ball
and 10.
deep.
Play action, scrambles to his right. Stays on his feet before being taken out of bounds for a 1-yard gain.
That is a risky play, getting hit by 3 different defenders for only 1 yard. Again, we haven't seen him throw the ball long, which we all know he's capable of doing, something I want to see before the end of the game. But at least he stopped the clock there with 38 seconds left.
You know, clock's not much of a worry in the third quarter.
That's true.
But he ran out of bounds, and you're absolutely right. We still have 38 seconds, which might give Glenbrook North an extra play they wouldn't have had to execute before this quarter ends. Kevin Burnside looking to add to his very impressive resume that he's put together so far. And with another touchdown here, scrambles to his left, Nobody open there. And the Spartans will face a 3rd and 9 at the Cougars' 19-yard line.
Fortunately, the pressure put on Kevin Burnside was immense. Hard to get out of that, but at least got the ball away.
Well, one thing to remember about the Spartans, as good as they are, as great as their record shows they are, they still almost blew a rivalry game to Highland Parks just weeks ago. They were up big. They were up 3 to 4 touchdowns, I believe, and really let Highland Park walk back in the ball game before taking control and giving us all a major scare. So this team has had some moments this year where they've almost choked as Burnside has time in the pocket. Oh, when he falls to his feet. High school rules, doesn't even need the contact. He's down at the 30. Major loss, 11-yard loss to be exact for the Spartans.
And as I was talking to Coach Weiner today, he said something that really is going to back up what you just said. He said that they haven't played a full 4 quarters of football. They have played 2 to 3 every game. And it's something we are sort of seeing that right here. We are having a little bit of a breakdown.
First quarter, excellent. Second quarter, till the end. Till the end, it was good.
Till the end, yeah.
Third quarter has been quite a disaster, really, especially on the offensive end. They could maybe get a miracle conversion here on 4th and 20 at the 30 to open the fourth quarter up. That would be terrific, but the third quarter has come to an end. The score has not changed. The hometown Spartans, whether you like it or not, are still up 17-6 over the Vernon Hills Cougars.
Well, let's see right now. Your coach, Bill Balcombe, your back's up against the wall. You have one last quarter.
And you saw how quickly that last quarter just blew by. These quarters zoom fast. I'm not sure how many more opportunities Vernon Hills will have to try and tie this ball game up or take the lead.
Right. Right now, you got to at least... And, you know, I think he might be regretting that he didn't go for that field goal that one time he tried to run the trick play.
I know. It could be down 8 rather than 11. That's a huge difference.
Huge. Because that makes it automatically he's got to be 2 possessions.
Very easy to play the role as Monday morning quarterback, though, Jacob. That's what makes our job so great. When we're on the field coaching, I understand why I did that. 47 yards or 49 yards, what it would have been. That's a long field goal, even for the best high school kicker in the country.
Yeah.
That's a spot where a lot of NFL kickers miss from. So I see both sides of the coin. But speaking of kicking, Glenbrook North will attempt a long one here, 47 yards to be exact. Tommy Gertner, the man who we have declared the MVP this far, will have another chance to add something special to his resume.
Oh, with the trick plays you said earlier, we might see it.
Oh! It was direct snap to Tommy Gertner. Tried to gun one down the field to TJ Weinzimmer.
That looked promising. The pressure was just
spiral, but little off. And the Cougars will take over with 11:54 left in this ball game in what I am willing to call, Jacob, a must-score possession.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. Going into the fourth quarter, you got to bring the fire. You got to at least get some points up.
Sitting in 17th place after the first round. Shot an opening round 75.
Let's see what the Cougars, again, they're bringing 5 receivers out there, no one in the backfield. Let's see what they're going to do. Pressure on the quarterback's tight, and he's going to keep it.
Kyle Hull, man, he's been a completely different player this second half, and as our good friend Mr. Rass just mentioned to us, on that previous play where Glenbrook North tried to do that fake field goal, where Gertner threw the ball to T.J. Weinzimmer, Mr. Rass brought it to my attention that even if Weinzimmer would have caught that pass, it still would have been too short for the first down. So very interesting play call for Coach Pieper and company. Meanwhile, 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Movement up front. Again, this wouldn't be a Glenbrook North Vernon Hills game without another offsides or encroachment call.
Especially right now in the fourth quarter, that is so costly.
An offsides penalty on Mr. Gio's defense.
Wow.
You got to be kicking yourself if you're Glenbrook North.
Especially in the fourth quarter. In such a tight game.
I mean, this is still a game.
Yeah.
This is still a game.
1 touchdown, a field goal, you're back in it.
4 receivers out for Kyle Hull. He looks at his playbook, fixes his helmet straps, and drops back to pass. Finds an open man at about the 40-yard line who takes it all the way to the 33. This Vernon Hills offense once again has put the wheels back on.
And again, as this is going to back up Coach Weiner's point, we haven't seen him play a full right now, even 3/4 of football right now. This is just kicking them really in the behind quite a bit. Can't allow, right in this tight fourth quarter with 10 minutes, 59 seconds left, you can't allow those long marches down the field.
Officials are discussing. There's a flag in the backfield, Jacob. Back at the Spartans 40. My apologies, the Cougars 40. They're saying it's a personal foul. Roughing the passer on Glenbrook North.
Oh, no.
That's going to give Vernon Hills even more yards and a free entrance into the red zone.
Oh, that is unfortunate. That is the thing.
A lot of heads are shaking right now on the sidelines of Glenbrook North. A lot of shaking heads.
Wow. And at this point, as you said, Vernon Hills has been very good in the red zone. I mean, you saw it against the Maine East game. Wow. This is the exact opposite of things we wanted.
Hall had time. He finds Weingardner wide open for a 7-yard gain.
He's really been targeting Weingardner, but it's been paying off, so can't blame him.
Jacob, talk about adjustments. We called it. Bellacomo, the master of them, found something in his back pocket in the locker room and has devised a completely new game plan that has so far worked pretty well for the Cougars, but still hasn't put any points up. Must score possession right here. As Hall will run a quarterback keeper, gets about 3 yards. And welcome to the 7-yard line, Vernon Hills.
Stop for no gain on the play. A legion of Spartans there to make the stop.
So the clock is ticking. Brings up a 3rd and 5 at the 9. My apologies. Thought the ball was a little further than it was. But we are under 10 minutes left, Jacob. The clock might end up playing a huge factor in the outcome of this game, especially if Vernon Hills can rally the troops and get a touchdown on the board.
That is what Vernon Hills needs right now.
Yeah,
as you said, it's a must-score possession. And
wide
looks like they're gonna get it.
open receiver in the end zone. Glenbrook North is shocked. Chris Mariella, you might remember his name from the big play he had in the first quarter, has really been silent up until now, but when the team needed him most, delivers a game-changing touchdown reception. In come college kicker Mr. Sments. Uh-oh, just kidding. They're going to go for 2 here and try and make this a three-point ball game.
But then again, you can't blame them. They
Absolutely.
got blocked in the first time.
And not only that, you're not sure how much time you're going to have left if you're Vernon Hills.
Oh, and he dropped it. Looks like they can't convert.
Weingardner was open, but must have lost track on his feet because he had a wide open pass and just dropped it. So it's going to be 17-12 with the Spartans taking over on a kickoff reception.
Well, that puts Spartans in a great position because now they need a touchdown to be ahead.
Touchdown, well, they're still ahead. Touchdown or a field goal.
Or
a field goal gives you an 8-point cushion. That's something that I would feel comfortable with if I'm Coach Pieper, but we've basically summed it up. They need to score here to really ensure the fact that they have the momentum on their side and, more importantly, control of this matchup. Wow. I'm looking down at the student section right now, Jacob.
Yeah.
I know that you can't see it on your television set, but I'll describe it to you. It's half of what it was at the beginning of the game. Half.
Minuscule.
And I wonder if Glenbrook North's fans just got a little too excited. And you know, this happens a lot when you're undefeated and you're a fan of an undefeated team. You're like, oh my God, we're winning 14-0. It's getting cold out. Maybe I'll head over to Steak and Shake, and we won this game. And little did they remember that Coach Bill Bellacomo and Kyle Hull are a decent quarterback-coach combo who will give Glenbrook North a run for their money, and they certainly have, as through 3.5 quarters, it is only a 5-point ball game.
Let's see how deep the boot's going to go.
The Vernon Hills sideline has been resurrected or something. There is a new sense of life there as Vernon Hills' kick rolls into the end zone, and GBN will take over at the 20. But, Jacob, I'm looking at these two sidelines, and it's polar opposite of what we saw in the first half. An excited, confident Glenbrook North sideline. No longer. Vernon Hills I mean, they looked out of this game, down 14-0 early, and now they were jumping up and down just moments ago during that song, Jump Around. And, and they are looking confident right now. Very, very concerning from a psychological factor if you're Glenbrook North.
Right now, if you were Glenbrook North, would you try to burn some clock and maybe get a point or try to score quick?
No, you got to score. I mean, the clock with over 9 minutes left, I'm not even thinking about that right now. I'm thinking I have to score. As Burnside has time in the pocket, scrambles to his right, finds Weinzimmer open before being taken down and ultimately not catching the football.
I really honestly think Vernon Hills has our offense somewhat figured out right now.
Coverage has been so much better. We were saying earlier in the first half, unbelievable. Weinzimmer wide open, or man-to-man coverage. Now every time Burnside tries to target him, there's a hound of Cougars that are trying to break up that pass.
Well, I think we really honestly need to make it a little different. I think we should stick to our run game. I think we need to throw downfield. We need to stop at these 5, 6, 7-yard passes. We need to go deep. Change it up a little bit, because right now Vernon Hills is really, it looks like they're just double covering with a single guy.
2nd and 10 for Burnside with 5 receivers out. Carfus in motion. Play action. Burnside's going to keep it and gets about 2, if you're generous, say 3 yards. Still not much.
Man, our offense hasn't woken up yet from halftime. It really, really hasn't.
Normally, Glenbrook North's defense, would play a game so well where you'd say, you know what, our offense doesn't really have to do that much right now with a 5-point lead. I can trust my defense. But the way Vernon Hills has been able to pick apart GBN's defense their past 3 possessions is very, very concerning for me and other Spartan fans.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Big 3rd down for the Spartans.
Oh, no. It's going to get him again. God, that is something you cannot afford to do. And as you look on the sidelines, players are in disbelief. Wow. A penalty at a time. You cannot have one. And Noah, you said an elite team.
Yeah,
you can't be having this many penalties.
I am speechless. Yeah, I really am. This late in the game, I don't know what to say, Jacob. 3rd and 12. Try and redeem yourself. Burnside finds an open Gertner. Talk about redemption. I go from silenced, I go from angry to excited. That's what GBN loves to do. They love to tool with my emotions, but at the end of the day, they get the job done. 1st and 10 for the Spartans. Huge momentum swing. That's a play that we could possibly look back at in 8.5 football minutes and say that won them the game.
Yeah. The fact they could get out of that really bad position.
Would have been pinned back at their own 20. Burnside.
No! Interception! Right off the hands of our wide receiver into the hands of the Vernon Hills defender. Man, that brings them right into our Glenbrook North territory. Looks like we're going to watch a replay. You're going to want to
see this replay because this was a spectacular play by Vernon Hills.
Oh, no, right off the tips of the fingers of Tommy Gertner. Right off the hands
of Tommy Gertner.
Oh, no.
And I have to say, Jacob, that is possibly the worst possible thing that could happen to Glenbrook North there.
Wow.
Kevin Burnside doesn't turn the ball over often, but usually has about 1 interception a game. There you have it at a very inopportune time. Kyle Hull takes over, finds Weingartner, his favorite target. Weingartner to the 10, to the 5, before being taken out of bounds. And the small, minuscule Vernon Hills student section is now louder than this whole stadium combined because, Jacob, Vernon Hills, for the first time today, has full control of this game.
We might see something we haven't. Looks like. Okay.
Kyle Hull running a direct snap.
Oh, no.
And gets taken down to about the 3. We'll have a
field interview.
Head down to the field for an interview right now as Kyle Hull try to rally the troops up and get a. Yeah, no field interview there, but in a time like this, I'm sorry, I don't think we need a field interview. You have all the entertainment you need on your screen right now. 2nd and 4 for Kyle Hull. Throws a very dangerous pass there, intended for Mariella. That looked like GBN almost came up with a big-time interception. Big time.
Now, as you said earlier, Glenbrook North has never trailed a football game in the second half.
Never. Not this season.
We might see it for the first time tonight, but as a Glenbrook North fan, you got to appreciate it and say, man, we got things to work on.
3rd and 4 for Kyle Hull. 3 receivers on one side. Kyle Hull running to that side, has time, finds an open man in the end zone. Jacob Berlinger. Man, you just said it. This is the first time Glenbrook North has trailed in a second half of a football game in the 2016 season. Credit Nick Morris for the touchdown reception. Unbelievable sight we are seeing right now at William Lutz Stadium.
Yeah, that is something. I mean, everyone on the sidelines right now looks shocked. The student section, again, shocked. Everyone seems to be speechless. In my opinion, we still haven't woken up yet.
To make matters worse, Jacob, I don't know if you know this, but Coach Pieper lives in Vernon Hills.
Yes.
His family and friends are all here. I don't know if they're rooting for him or rooting against him, but I'll tell you something. I don't know if there's a team Pieper would hate to lose to more than Vernon Hills.
I was talking to star lineman Michael Pfaff. He said that Pieper has been just holding this inside of him about how he could never beat Vernon Hills, and this is the year to do it. Well, let's see if they can. Wow, going for 2 again, risky.
Yeah, going to 2, trying to get a 3-point lead here. Kyle Hull finding pressure. Targets Mariella's. Incomplete. So after that touchdown, the Cougars only lead by a point. Do not change the channel.
Yeah,
you are witnessing what is probably going to be an incredible finish here at William Lutz Stadium with 7:26 left. The undefeated season that the Spartans have put together is at risk right now. They are down in a 4th quarter. I don't know how I'm even saying this right now, Jacob, but it's the truth. The Spartans are going to have to dig back in their back pocket and find some sort of magic. Revert back to what's been working for them all season long. Pieper has to remind his leader, Kevin Burnside, that they are here for a reason. They are 7-0 for a reason, and they have to continue to believe in themselves, or else they will be in major trouble.
Let's see what Jimmy Carfus can do right now, as he will be returning the punt. Let's see if he can get anything going. Right now, we haven't gained very many yards at all, unfortunately, in the second half.
Wow. And, normally, this isn't a normal game, but normally I'd be more than confident saying GBN will be able to push the ball down the field, led by Kevin Burnside and Jimmy Carfus, and score a touchdown here. But the way this second half has gone with them offensively, I am not as confident.
Yeah. This game has been full of twists and turns. Then again, that's what makes football so great. You never know what's going to happen, especially high school football. Let's see what the Spartans can do with 7 minutes and 26 seconds left of the final quarter. Let's see
Kevin
what Pieper's offense
Burnside
can do.
has to find his determination and grit in his mind. Turn that switch on.
Yes.
And remember what he did last season in that Bradley Bourbonnais playoff game when he led the Spartans down the field on a game-tying touchdown with 0 seconds left in the football game. Kevin Burnside has been in stressful situations before. This is not foreign to him. If I'm Pieper, I still have faith and trust in my senior leader, Burnside. Unfortunately, there only gets a couple yards on the keeper, brings up 2nd and 8. Jacob, looks like we have a hurt Spartan on the field.
Oh, no, that is not good. Face down, that is not something we want to see right now.
Horrible sight to see. Horrible sight.
Oh. Is it Burnside?
It is not. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Unfortunately, our cameraman is not showing us the injury. But, Jacob, let me tell you, I don't see Kevin Burnside standing next to the other Spartans.
Oh, no.
This is the worst possible thing that could ever happen to the Spartans in this moment. If Kevin Burnside is truly injured. It is the single worst thing that could happen to them, undoubtedly.
Especially now, he seems to be favoring maybe a knee or a leg, something an uncontact injury that could be something torn.
Look, we don't want to speculate, but all we know is he looks hurt, and we talked about it earlier. They don't have quarterback depth on this team. They have senior Nick Farney. They have sophomore Cameron Casey. Davu Keels is injured. I don't know who you go to right now if you're Coach Pieper. Do you go with the more developed, more skilled sophomore or the more experienced senior Nick Farney?
You know, I actually have played football with Nick Farney, and he is a fine quarterback. I would actually put my trust in Nick Farney. Give it to the senior before the sophomore. Experience over everything.
Fortunately for all Spartan fans who were holding their breath just moments ago, Burnside is at least walking with assistance. Doesn't look good, doesn't look terrible, though. He's not going to play this next play, obviously, but maybe could come back in the future. We'll keep you updated. Jacob?
Let's see who's out there. Who is out there
Hard
right
to
now?
see. Wow.
Is it?
It is Alexander Bubaris.
What a shocking
shot in the dark. Nobody expected it. Can Alexander Bubaris lead the troops?
Oh.
Not a good start there. What? Jacob, I think you're as shocked as I am.
Yeah.
We both know Alexander Bubaris is a fabulous receiver, fabulous cornerback, fabulous special teams player. I never in a million years would ever think this guy would be playing quarterback for Glenbrook North right now.
That's taking away a huge weapon you have. As you said, we talked about this. He broke records. And now you're going to make him play quarterback? I'm sorry. I think that's a big weapon to take away. But let's see if Bubaris can lead the troops. Rally the Spartans.
Big 3rd and 8 here on his own 22. We didn't even mention that last pass was nearly picked off, which is very, very concerning if you're Bob Pieper. Flag on the play. Bubaris finds an open Carfus who gets about 3 yards. The flag was in the backfield, and it was an illegal motion on the offense. Pins him back, most likely 10 yards. The penalty's declined. Coach Bellicoma will decline the penalty, knowing the fact that now he's probably going to force the Spartans to punt because they are at their own 22 with still 6:57 left, only down a point. Pieper's doing the smart, conservative thing here and punting the football.
Wow. Unfortunately, this is not what you want to see as a Spartans offense. An injury and just a turnover.
Weinzimmer, give me a good punt.
He does. Wow.
Yeah, he does. Bounces at about the 50. Whoa! Vernon Hills touched the football.
He touched the ball.
In a remarkable turn of events. Hear me out. There was a tangle-up between a Vernon Hills player and a Glenbrook North player. They both were blocking each other. Probably some missed holding calls. The ball hit the leg of the Vernon Hills receiver. And the Glenbrook North Spartans, as gritty and smart as they are, pounced on it. And that is one for the ages. I mean, unbelievable turn of events.
This is a game for the books. This is one of the most exciting football games I've ever seen.
Jacob Berlinger, against all odds, can Alexander Bubaris lead the troops down the field for what could be the most important score of the season?
He gets about 5 yards on the quarterback carry. Good thing of him as a quarterback is, man, he is way fast. Looks like, as you see on the sidelines, Burnside seems to be putting more weight on his foot. A good sign. Looks like he might even be trying to run and maybe go back in.
Wow. I love story, and this game is just filled with story. Bubaris.
Hand off
to Carfus. He has space to run.
Don't give him space.
He has space. Gets to about the 35.
And now the Spartans look alive again. They haven't looked alive since the first half. But now the fans, the crowd, everyone is going crazy. And this is super exciting what you want to see with 6 minutes left.
You mentioned it earlier. Burnside's running on the sidelines. We're not showing it on your television screen, unfortunately, but I'll describe the scene for you. He's running almost at full speed right now in zigzag formation. He looks so much better. Alexander Bubaris, another handoff to Jimmy Karfus.
And wow, don't give him space.
He has taken the responsibility of the team's offensive leader right now, knowing his star quarterback is injured.
Jimmy Karfus with the carry.
And this
Another
is what,
first down.
This is what a true football team could do. They can, as you said, they look to each other right now. And they are filling the gaps that need to be filled. And man, right now, this is making some interesting
Burnside,
football.
helmet in his hand, still has a bit of a limp on the sidelines. I can tell by the look on his face he wants to get back in there. He definitely does.
Yeah, he's a player that hates to stand on the sidelines and just watch. He'd rather be in there.
Bubaris in shotgun. Another handoff to Karfus. Tries to fight off pressure. Does the best he could. Gets almost back to the line of scrimmage. Not best he could there. Looks like GBN realized that their last two plays were great when they handed the ball off to Karfus, so why not try it for a third time? But Vernon Hills finally figures it out how to stop them. And
wow, we are under 5 minutes.
Well, Kevin Burnside has now put his helmet on. Breaking news, guys. Hand off to Karfus up the middle for nothing, really.
Nothing, wow. It's going to be right around 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11.
We'll head down to the field for some more insight, possibly on this injury.
Yeah, but unfortunately.
Varsity, where they had more moments where they were losing in games because it's only going to get harder from.
Right.
And I tell you, Jacob, that last drive, I have to say, is the most impressive drive of.
That turn events right off that, fumble recovery. Wow, that totally changed the tide of the game right now. If the Spartans get this extra point in, they will be up 6. Wow.
They're going for 2. They are going for 2 because they know that, Spartans call a timeout. They're going to talk things over. But before the timeout, they were lining up trying to go for 2 because I think they realize that Vernon Hills has an effective kicking game, and it's going to be difficult to block another extra point. Oh, he might be heading down to the field right now for another interview.
Let's see what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Coach Bill Balacomo, this is where time maybe becomes a little bit of a problem. Right under 4 minutes. What do you try to do?
4 minutes. You're in control of your own destiny. You have a possession.
Yes.
I'm not excusing you and making it you didn't win the game because you didn't have time. You got a time. That's not the issue. It's can you get the ball down the field and in the end zone.
I think it relies a lot on can Coach Gio and Coach defense totally stop them. And right now, it's been a defensive game, so you can never tell.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And it looks like Pieper has doubled down on his original decision and will stick to his guts and go for 2 here. For the first time today, folks, GBN is not in shotgun. Looks like they have 3 men behind Burnside, 2 receivers out, and a crowded offensive line.
Very rarely we've seen him take it under the center.
Burnside finds an open receiver in the end zone for a 2-point conversion. Tommy Gertner, the man of the hour.
Wow.
The Spartan sideline is hyped up right now as they now lead this game 25-18 with 3:57 left, and will put the pressure back on their defense to maintain what has been called a dream season by many around the high school football world.
Yes. Couldn't agree with you more, no.
So many moments that you'll remember for the rest of your life if you're a GBN Spartan football fan on that last drive. Burnside scares us all. Bubaris surprises us all. Actually is effective at quarterback. Burnside comes back in, despite all odds, looking like he's done for the game, and scores a touchdown. You cannot make this stuff up.
Only high school football. Only high school football.
You know, it's a real shame that Comcast Sportsnet was almost going to cover this game.
Right.
But unfortunately, this game did not receive the number of votes that it needed, and CSN went over to West Aurora to cover that matchup. But this would have been a nice game to cover.
So exciting.
Gertner, another great boot. Oh,
no.
And I stand corrected. Rolls out of bounds, which will result in a major penalty for the Spartans. The ball will be placed at the 35 or 45, I believe. I know rules are different in the NFL and high school. The ref standing at the 35.
Yeah.
But now he's signaling the other official's signaling that original ref to move further back. So we'll have to wait and see here. Either way, a costly mistake for Tommy Gertner.
A man who's done so much this game.
I mean, yeah, really has.
Yeah.
Saves the game again!
And this game is far from over. There's 1:51 seconds left, but man, what a barn burner nail biter this one is. Wow.
This Glenbrook North defense is now faced with a very tough task. They'll have 4 tries to stop Vernon Hills.
Oh, it looks like they're going to stop
Try
him.
number 1 is successful. Kyle Hull is sacked for a major loss. And what once was a first and goal at the 3 is now a second and goal at the 10.
And the clock is still
Look at this
running.
replay, Jacob. Look at this replay as Kyle Hull was hounded by multiple defensive ends and defensive linemen from Glenbrook North. The clock is ticking. Never forget, we are down to 1 minute and 7 seconds left.
And you can feel the stands are shaking.
Kyle Hull in shotgun, feels the pressure, finds an opening, stays on his feet, and runs into the end zone almost untouched. Will be very interesting to see if Coach Bellacomo rolls the dice with 56 seconds left and tries to take the lead and go for 2. Something that is actually more common in the high school football league than in the NFL or college. A lot of coaches love to roll the dice, and as Mr. Rast, our lovely cameraman, just informed me, it looks like they are rolling the dice, Jacob, despite having a college-ready kicker.
Yeah.
They are going for 2 and trying to take the lead.
And I think this could be the difference in the game is all their
Remember last year, flashback to last year against Bradley Bourbonnais when Glenbrook North lost on this exact play, this exact situation.
And it looks like Spartans are going to take a timeout.
Smart timeout.
Yeah, very smart.
Timeout. You got to be able to devise some sort of game plan, see what Vernon Hills was showing, and once again, very similar to a few. Was it the third quarter when Vernon Hills went for 2? Very similar then, where Coach Pieper called a timeout to see what, try and devise some sort of scheme to counterattack the formation he saw on the field.
Interesting stat if you look at the game. They have not converted once. But if Vernon Hills converted, twice and they've just gone for regular 1 point, man, that could be the difference in the game.
This is about as big as it gets. With 56 seconds left, no matter what, the Spartans will get the ball back.
Yeah.
But if Vernon Hills gets these points, gets these 2 points, Glenbrook North will be faced with their biggest task of the season. Marching down the field with under a minute left and only one timeout left.
Yeah.
Tough task. Kevin Burns up on the sidelines is praying right now. His defense will bail him out once again. 4 receivers out and a halfback for Hole. A wide open Weingartner. Unbelievable. I mean, with 56 seconds left, Glenbrook North's perfect season is at stake.
Let's see what Coach Pieper can try to do to turn it around. Again, under a minute, but all you need is a field goal, and what you have is Tommy Gertner.
Glenbrook North has a major advantage, though, in situations like this that most teams don't have. They have a quarterback who can throw the ball down the field. They have tall, lengthy receivers who can catch those passes. You know what? If I'm Coach Pieper, I take 3 shots deep. Not 3 shots to end zone deep right here, but depending on where they get the ball to start the kickoff, I mean, 3 shots, try and get Weinzimmer in man-to-man coverage, throw up a 50-50 ball, trust the Division I recruit, because I don't think you have the time to waste right now to try a little dink and dunk to Carfus. As great as that might have seemed, as might have that been 5 minutes ago, not so much right now with under a minute left. Sments will kick it off for Vernon Hills. Junior Jimmy Carfus will return it for GBN, and you can just see him right now banging the floor of the field. He wants this ball coming to him, and he wants to take this back to the house. And another very important thing to note, Glenbrook North's kicker is also a key receiver.
Right.
So now most teams that would be in this situation would have their kicker warming up, kicking into a fake, little goal. GBN can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
They're going to put Gertner out there as a receiver.
And you have to.
And if you get in field goal range, he wouldn't have time to practice. And that's going to be something very interesting if that situation plays out.
Wow. Under a minute, and all we need is that field goal. And luckily for us, Tommy Gertner, as you were just talking about, you can trust him from deep.
You can.
But it's risky.
Do I trust any high school kicker from deep in this situation? I can't say I do.
Right.
Kevin Burnside will start at his own 20. Banged up. Bruised. Finds Tommy Gertner open. Has some space. Gets out of bounds to about the 40. That is exactly what Glenbrook North needed. There was only 6 seconds that were taken off.
We're going to look at the replay of this beautiful play.
Take a look at your screen. Towards the sideline, exactly where they wanted it. Gertner, heads up play to get out of bounds, only weighs 6 seconds. And now what seemed like an impossible task suddenly seems possible.
Right.
Now they're at their own 40. You're starting to see the end zone in the distance. Vernon Hills
taking their time out.
I think Vernon Hills realizes that because they called a timeout right there. Bellicomo starting to become a little bit paranoid.
Yeah, he may think he has the game wrapped up, but 50 seconds left, Spartan football. You can't count us out ever.
Very funny that fans of both teams left very early.
Yeah.
Don't leave early, guys.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're planning on showing up for half the game, show up for the second half. I've never understood the logic of only showing up to the first half of a sporting event. Like, if I'm going to half of something, half of a game, it's got to be the second half.
Oh, 100%. Wouldn't you rather see the ending?
And in fact, that's what I do a lot of the time, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I'll never understand the other side, though.
Yeah.
Let's get back to football, though, because this is about as intense as it gets. Spartans have a 1st and 10 at their own 41, down a point to the recent new members of the CSL North Conference, the Vernon Hills Cougars.
And Bob Pieper's hometown.
Yeah, with 50 seconds left.
Man.
What can Kevin Burnside give us?
Let's see. Looks like they're going to look.
He has time. Burnside has time. Scrambles to his left. Overthrows Weinzimmer out of bounds. Wastes another 6 seconds. We're down to 44. Wow.
That's risky, but at the same time, what can you do? Risk throwing to Weinzimmer and then burn your timeout right then and there? It's something hard to do.
I still would love to see just a simple shot down the field, like a Hail Mary even, because I really, truly believe Burnside has the arm for the ball to get there, and these receivers have the arm length and the size to corral that ball.
Yeah. I mean, when you have
Maybe we
D1
see it right
recruits,
here.
that's what you got to do.
Burnside finds an open Weinzimmer. The referee.
Oh, wow. I'm going to say he
is
caught
saying
it.
He's caught it.
He's caught it.
And that is why Valparaiso contacted him a week ago and offered him a spot on their football team. For a catch like that, the clock will stop momentarily because I believe they said he was down before he went out of bounds. I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, clock is running. 1st and 10.
No, clock seemed to be stopped. Clock stopped.
Clock ran and then stopped.
They might be trying to fix what's on the clock.
If the ruling on the field is that Weinzimmer was out of bounds after he caught it, then the clock needs to be reset to the 38-second mark. And I believe that's what's going on right now.
Yep.
And is the explanation for this stoppage of play. Wow. Who would have thought? Not many people thought Vernon Hills would be the team to give GBN a run for their money. But here we are. Glenbrook North down 1, 38 seconds left. Ball on Vernon Hills 49. Burnside in shotgun.
Oh no, Burnside gets
before being sacked, throws the ball away. And as you noticed, Jacob, I couldn't even open my mouth there. I was so worried that ball was going to be picked off. Luckily, that ball was thrown out of bounds. 2nd and 10 at the 49. We are now down to 32 seconds left. Burnside runs over to his offensive coordinator, Dom Savino, runs back to the huddle.
At the rate we're going, we're probably going to get maybe right around 5 plays in, right around the average.
If they do this smart. Wow. 5 receivers out for Burnside. Pressure on the offensive line to give him time. They do.
Oh!
Boris
right
was
over
open.
His head.
Ball sailed over his head. And not to mention, Mubarak took a beating there.
And not to mention, it's 3rd and 10. Minus the clock right now.
3rd and 10. The perfect season on the line. Not only could this loss just be a loss and end the perfect season, it could also become a huge detriment to this team's confidence and motivation moving forward. So everything imaginable on the line right now for Kevin Burnside as he is in shotgun formation with 4 receivers out. Gertner alone on the right. Burnside escapes the pressure.
He's going to be taking it. He's going to be taking it.
First down. Wow. Out of bounds. Keep in mind, Jacob, there's only 22 seconds left.
We're going to look at the replay of that phenomenal run.
100%. We have to go to replay here. Burnside better than anyone at escaping pressure and getting to first downs. He does it again there. He is clutch, man.
His head is always on a swivel. He is looking every which way to find that one slight opening. Looks like Vernon Hills will take their last time out.
Yep, and with ball on the 37 with 22 seconds left and only 1 timeout for the Spartans, you have to wonder, Jacob, how many more chances do they have?
I mean, they're averaging right around 6 seconds, so give or take right around 3 to 4, depends if one goes fast.
So we know Burnside has an arm.
Right.
Do you take a shot at the end zone right now, or do you try and move a little closer to maybe the 25-20 and then go to the end zone?
If I was Pieper, I'd tell him you got to march closer to that 20. It is too risky to try to long ball it now.
They can still kick the field goal and take the lead.
Right.
That is a fact that we might be overlooking because most high school teams struggle with kicking. GBN, on the other hand, has been all right.
And now if you look on the side, they are warming up the long snapper right now, so maybe they are going to try to go for the field goal.
Warming up the long snapper, but you're still not warming up the kicker as
That is
Gertner
true.
is on the right side of your screen looking for a pass. Burnside has time. Throws it to Bobaris, incomplete.
Incomplete, and that just wastes 4 seconds. A little low, unfortunately.
Incomplete. 18 seconds left. Ball at the 37, so as of right now, it would be a 54-yard field goal try. Basically, you would need a miracle, some God's intervention, some sort of weird win to appear, because a 54-yard field goal is not going in for the Spartans right now.
Yeah.
They got to get closer. 18 seconds left. Burnside once again alone in the backfield with 5 receivers out, 2 on the right, 3 on the left. He has time. Finds Gardner. Stays in bounds, though.
Looks like they're going to probably call the timeout right now. Oh, no.
Gertner got the first down.
They're
You'll
going
see
for the
on your
hurry.
screen. Gertner.
Oh, there's something wrong with the clock right now. I've
Wow.
noticed.
Vernon Hills is freaking out. This is unbelievable. I
There is
cannot
something-
believe this is happening.
There's something off with the clock.
The chains are taking absolutely forever to set. By rule, you cannot, in high school, the clock does not run until the chains reset. But those chains took an abnormally long amount of time to reset, and Vernon Hills is trying to plead the case that was unreasonably biased against them. And to be honest, I think they might have a point, but at the end of the day, they still have to defend them still have to defend the Spartans either way. 10 seconds left. You have to wonder if this is their last shot, because now the ball's at the 26, which would be a 43-yard try for Gertner. Still risky, but certainly doable.
Right. I mean, this is right now your make or break.
Make or break play right here. Perfect season on the line. Burnside in the shotgun. Finds Gertner.
He's gotten it.
He's in bounds.
With 6 seconds
6
left.
seconds left.
Do you go for one more play?
My. Jacob, we are going to the replay. As you can see on your screen, there is a replay. As you see Tommy Gertner corralling that ball and going out of bounds, and Pieper realizes the circumstance he's in with only 6 seconds left. He cannot risk another play going off, because that last pass took 4 seconds. Another pass could easily take 6. Tommy Gertner, the man we called MVP moments ago, can seal the deal here for the Spartans with 6 seconds left.
Let's see.
A 34-yard try for the lefty.
Can we keep the perfect season alive?
The season on the line. Hold, good, kick. No good. And Vernon
there's flags.
Hills,
there seems to be flags on the field.
Vernon Hills is celebrating, Jacob, but as you mentioned,
there are flags on the
two
field.
Flags on the field. Maybe they should not be celebrating.
Yeah. They need to get back.
What in
Oh my God! A total change of events.
I am actually
God.
speechless. I mean, how funny is it that the one thing neither team did a good job of all day was staying disciplined? And the Spartans will have another try now. Closer. Wow, I mean, absolutely remarkable.
Wow. That is incredible.
I'll tell you what, though, Jacob.
Yeah.
Vernon Hills is going to have a lot to plead to the IHSA committee after this game. They have faced a lot of questionable calls. A costly penalty right there. You saw what happened with the chains moments ago. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to say that they will have a lot to plead. All right, perfect season on the line once again.
Even closer now. Let's see.
Gertner.
Tommy Gertner, MVP, do this. This is some MVP type stuff right here.
The senior on senior night. Bad snap.
No,
and another
good.
missed field goal and another flag.
Another flag. Another flag. It isn't over yet. It's not over.
This is absolutely incredible. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
I have never seen this
Obviously,
before.
there is a problem with the snap team and the way they're executing their field goals. Why even try doing something illegal if you're Vernon Hills? Why even? Mind-boggling stuff.
My God.
If they go on to lose this game, they absolutely beat themselves.
Yes.
I wonder if you're GBN, if you try and take a shot at the end zone. Those are 2 miserable attempts. I mean, absolutely miserable. I'm talking 30 yards off the field goal post.
Oh, they're going to be on the 1.
As our colleague, Mr. Rath, just mentioned, the ball
call, personal foul. We'll have another untimed down.
This is absolutely incredible. The ball will now be placed at the 4. So
my
ultimately,
God.
this is an extra point try for GBN as Bob Pieper
calls his last
will use his
timeout.
final timeout. Maybe it looks like he's prepping Tommy Gertner, coaching him up right now. Helmet to face. Pieper and Gertner, coach to kicker. A moment that Spartan fans will never forget, no matter what the outcome of this game is, because Jacob, so much is on the line. GBN has not had an undefeated regular season since 2004. Maybe making history with a win tonight and a win next week over Maine West. And not to mention, if they do go undefeated, they would have a very nice draw in the playoffs. And that's something they longed for last year, and they were given a very bad draw in Badley Bourbonnais, a very solid team that ended up being a semifinalist. A lot on the line. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the third try might be the charm. Gertner will line up and kick. I can't even say it with a straight face. Ball at the 4. This is a 21-yard attempt.
Let's see if they can do it.
Season on the line.
This is average field goal.
Potentially another flag could be thrown. Snap is good.
Oh,
he missed it again.
He missed it.
But this time, no flag. And with tough defense, the Vernon Hills Cougars have put an end to Glenbrook North's dream season. The Spartans fall to 7-1. And the Cougars, the new members of the conference, improve to 6-2 and clinch a playoff spot. Glenbrook North will still have a chance to win conference next week against Maine West.
Yeah.
But what an unbelievable game we just witnessed, Jacob. Unfathomable outcome.
Wow. That is shocking. That was probably one of the most exciting football games I've ever seen. You know, I wish we were a little bit more alive in the third quarter, or maybe we weren't in this outcome, but man, nonetheless, we saw two great football teams go at it.
A lot to reflect on for both teams.
A lot to walk away from and look at and try to change before next week.
Yeah, Glenbrook North, this was a real wake-up call.
Yeah.
You know, I talked about how bad this will be for their playoff resume, but at the same time, possibly a blessing in disguise. This team thought they were on top of the world, and now as they were knocked down, they'll try and bounce back next week and capture another CSL North title against Maine West, and hopefully head into the playoffs with the momentum on their side.
A little dose of reality, never a bad thing. But we always have next week, and we always have the playoffs.
Got a feel for Tommy Gertner.
Yeah, man.
Unbelievable throughout the game. And 3 heartbreaking attempts at the end. One of the worst ways to lose a football game imaginable when you consider everything at stake, when you consider Pieper's hometown, as we mentioned.
Right.
It's going to be tough to swallow for GBN, but, man,
can't blame Tommy Gertner whatsoever, though.
This is the biggest test you could ask for.
Yeah.
How will GBN respond? Could this be the moment that sends them downhill?
Yeah.
Sends them back to a 7-2 season with a first-round exit? Or could this be the moment that wakes them up and pushes them to go harder than they were going before and fuel them through the state playoffs and do a conference championship?
I'm going to say a really famous quote right here. It's not about how many times you fall down. It's about how many times you get back up.
Absolutely.
And right here we're looking at a Spartan team that needs to be able to get back up. But I think under our great coaches and under our true leadership skills of seniors, players.
All right.
Well, it looks like
Once
that's
again,
about it for our broadcast. Well, thank you, Noah, for joining me.
Yeah.
It was always a pleasure to do a
Absolutely.
broadcast with you.
It was so much fun. Heartbreaking outcome, but still was fun.
Yeah. Still was a very awesome game. Can't wait to do it again. Hopefully we can maybe do it again in the playoffs.
Should be back here on GBN TV for a playoff game in 2 weeks if all goes to plan next week against Maine West. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.